And today, the Senate recorded one of the most dramatic moments in its history, and our people watched the drama of how power in this country is shaped. Senate President Juan Ponce Enrique's leadership was challenged by Senator Antonio Trillanes, an exchange that makes you wonder why and what for. And joining us tonight is Mr. Ramon Casiple, Executive Director of the Institute of Political and Electoral Reforms. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, were you surprised with the events in the Senate this afternoon when Senator Trillanes personally attacking the leadership of Senate President Juan Ponce Enrique and withdrawing his support for his leadership and joining the minority bloc?
Well, nobody should be surprised with the Senate. Most drama, political drama that happened in our country in recent months is centered in the Senate. We are now entering the election period. That's normal.
So, sir, from what you say, Senator Trillanes, was he harboring a personal grudge? The Senate is supposed to be an institution of men and women elected by our people to serve our country. Should one's personal concerns come first before what you committed to offer for our people?
Well, that is as it should be, because they are senators of the land. The whole people, the voters, have elected them to serve a specific national function. But then, we're also talking of a real Senate with divided loyalties, with divided interests. Sometimes it is even described that there are 24 islands or 24 would-be presidents. That's how the whole institution works. Of course, that's good if you're talking of check and balances, but then when there's time for unity, that may also become a problem.
So with what happened today at the Senate, what are the implications about this branch with what's happening right now? What are the, let's say, moving forward, what are the implications and what do you think is going to happen moving forward when Trillanes walked out and saying that he no longer has the trust for the Senate President?
Well, he said himself that that would mean he would become part of the minority in the Senate. I don't know yet, because we're still talking here of tensions or talking of temper. I don't know if the decision on both sides will really be decisions that would last.
So Senator Trillanes left the Senate after his debate with the Senate President. How did you see this reaction from him?
Well, I wouldn't dare to venture into the whys and the wherefore there. At this point in time, one can only gauge what one sees in what happened earlier today. Obviously, as I've said, we are in the election period. There are a lot of speculations, definitely, that will come out of that incident.
Sir, Senate President Enrile went on to speak of Senator Trillanes and his back-channeling talks with several Chinese leaders. Enrile read the notes of Philippine Ambassador Brady on the series of meetings of Trillanes with unnamed Chinese officials. Enrile said the people had the right to know his mission to resolve the concerns of the Philippines with China on the Scarborough Shoal. Your take on this, sir?
Well, I didn't expect that because, as we know, it's the President who undertakes the implementation of any policy on foreign relations. And he has all the options that he needs to be at hand. That includes back-channeling, whatever. He may even talk to a simple citizen like us who have knowledge of the things that he would want to be resolved. And he can take that advice, or he can get their cooperation for something. So it's a normal thing in diplomatic work that you have back-channeling, particularly for problems that are too complicated to be done openly. The one thing I didn't expect was that this kind of initiatives would become public. Precisely, it's called back-channeling because it's an informal, deniable, and of course secret.
Yes.
Now that the reading of any memoranda coming from that particular process is unfortunate.
Sir, yes, and talking about back-channeling, it's supposed to be in secret and it's a matter of national security. Now that it's out in the open, how does this affect right now the discussions on the West Philippine Sea with China? Is this going to affect it, or is this going to increase tension, or won't it affect the talks right now?
Well, I think as far as the incident is concerned for the Chinese, it doesn't add anything to the discussion, because they know already, of course, what this back channeling is. They are the object of the back channeling. The new thing I think they would learn is that the Philippine political leadership are bickering over it.
Sir, moving forward, is Enrile in danger of losing his post? Is the so-called plot which surfaced a few days ago playing out right now? And do you think Senator Enrile will lose his post? And what could be the implications in terms of working relations of the Senate and the executive?
Well, we don't know yet if these are real plots or these are just part of the passions of the moment. But certainly, from the start, there's always been speculations, rumors, or even actual attempts to unseat Senate President Enrile. So it's not really something new. And there's always been upfront on that issue, challenging everybody to bring him down. So it's I don't say anything special.
Sir, any final words regarding what happened today and moving forward, what will happen the next days?
Well, I think the people, they know about this. They should leave out foreign policy as part of our domestic issues, particularly during election time. We should be united on the issue of China. It should not be an election issue.
Okay, on that note, thank you very much for joining us tonight. That was Mr. Ramon Casiple.